All right, Taurus. So I have a direct message from the divine for someone very specific. So only take what resonates and leave the rest. If it doesn't resonate with you, it may be a message for someone else. All right, the message is this: the divine wants you to use your life experience, your expertise, um, your whatever. Okay, there's something about you are an expert at something um, due to your the lessons that you've learned, due to the job that you've been at. You've done something repetitiously over and over and over and over and over again, and you can guide other people now and help coach them to the other side of anything that you've had to do it yourself. All right, so this is some type of do it yourself project, pamphlet, 10-step study guide, self-care regimen. I don't know what it is, but this is a confirmation if you've been thinking about those things, because those are the ones that came to my mind. You are meant to be very successful. Um, Sharing how you were able to use mysticism to help you reach certain milestones or overcome certain challenges, how you were able to see a full spectrum and get all the perspectives of the rainbow, okay, throughout your journey. You have healed. Okay, that was the biggest message that came through for you. So for someone that's feeling like, I'm still healing, I'm still overcoming my own situation, and I'm not quite where I want to be financially, I'm not quite where I want to be career wise, and so I'd rather wait until I get there, and then I'll be ready to share, then I'll be ready to help other people. Spirit is asking you to do it right now, okay? To draw inspiration from those life experiences, from the things you had to learn, whether it was easy or hard, but more specifically to give guidance and advice. Okay, it's one thing to just share what you can see, right? It's one thing to just read between the lines and use your intuition and say, I can see that I'm very clairvoyant, intuitive, I can see the in between, I can see the gray area, right? But it's another to be able to see it and then interpret what exactly it's trying to say, or how someone else can benefit from your ability to see or read between the lines, okay? And when you master being able to see that you were on a pattern or a cycle, that's you being able to see between the lines that, hey, I was going in a particular motion, and I'm able to predict now when something is going to start and when something's going to end. Your ability to predict the weather, you know, your job, when it's gonna, like, stock markets, when it's gonna increase, when it's gonna fall. All of those things are positions that you may feel like you're underqualified for. Like, you may personally feel like, oh, I don't have the credentials, I don't have, no one's gonna take me serious, I don't have the experience or things like that, and so I have to kind of like wait my turn. And it's hot and piping right now, baby. I don't know what it is, but Spirit is saying, your perspective around that is limited. It's a limited belief system that has held a grip on you for far too long. It's time for you to become some type of entrepreneur. It's time for you to be that self-made millionaire. It's time for you to open the doors, okay, to your new shop, your new business. And so we're going to look into this oracle card here. I feel like all of this is tied to your life purpose with that download that I got. All right. Confirmations if you've just been trying to make sure that you're not telling people the wrong thing, if you've been trying to make sure that it's not an ego thing or it's not a pride thing as to why you haven't embarked on this journey or taken action on certain ideas that you have, that's also connected to some type of limited belief system. So let's see, channel messages for the collective Taurus that this is intended for, Spirit. So we have strategy, wealth in reverse, and opportunity. Magic at the bottom of the deck. Sometimes these programs and these belief systems that we have, um, will use our own limited belief systems to keep us from even feeling as if we deserve certain opportunities that come our way. When we see something of large financial gain, to be able to handle that much money and be responsible in those positions, in order for those opportunities, in order for that tax bracket, in order for that level of success to reach you and to connect with you, you're going to have to trust that there is a method, there is a strategy, right? When you find a niche or you find something that you're good at, doing it well, consecutively, repetitiously, it's going to unlock certain doors for you, right? Um, but along the way, the reason why Spirit has constantly encouraged you to write it down, keep, take note of where you've been, leave clues and breadcrumbs for yourself, just like we left clues and breadcrumbs for you to find, nuggets for you to find on your trail, on your journey. We also encourage you to do that. So this way, you'll know what you went through would be like a roadmap. It would be like a blueprint for others that also want to tap into that mysticism, into that magic, into that infinite power, right? This particular door, this particular vortex that you are aligning to is already there. Okay, from your perspective, you haven't made it yet. From your perspective, you haven't arrived yet. You're barely scratching the surface, but the vortex is already in it. It's just asking for you to align to the path of the most least resistant. And in order for the most least resistant for you would be for you to change your belief systems around abundance, around wealth, around how you should obtain something. If you believe that if you attain something really fast and you get it very quickly, that it's evil, or that it's going to be the root of all evil, or that it's going to be the very thing that takes you down and you're unsure, then that vortex is going to, you and that vortex won't be aligned with each other. And sometimes giving you that belief system at a very young age on your journey, it's as a way to keep you in your tax brackets, as a way to keep you, it's a strategy to keep you in your tax brackets, to keep you comfortable in certain levels of social societies, area codes where you feel comfortable can also become where you remain complacent. And that's what the universe is speaking to you about. If you believe that you have to heal in order to receive these blessings, then you will have to heal in order to receive these blessings. The next phase of your healing looks like it's something that you have now. You go from juggling, like two. You go from juggling like two apples, right? And now a third apple has been added to your juggling act, right? So now you're juggling your spirituality, you're juggling your everyday job, and now you're going to pick up something like an entrepreneur gig or something like that. So that leaves you with three different things that you have to balance and you have to juggle out. But a part of juggling those things, if you didn't believe that you were capable of juggling three instead of two like you started, you would overthink and you may drop the ball. You may start dropping your apples. So in this type of scenario, this is a key of belief, right? If you believe that all you have to do is keep up the same momentum and the same pace, and it's very repetitious, but it's going to get you where you need to go, you will cut off that logical brain that needs to make sense of everything, and you will start to see yourself as a part of the web, the person that sits in the center of the web, and anything that you do need to focus on, it's going to alert you long before it gets to you, long before those apples drop. You're going to get some type of sign, signal, inclination that it's time for you to, to be aware of something, to see something ahead. All right. So this is all belief. Because in order to unlock wealth, you have to know that you're wealthy, right? You have to believe it. In order to unlock the opportunity, you have to know that you deserve this opportunity, right? If someone comes to you tomorrow and they want to buy 1,000 orders, but you only have 50, are you going to say, oh no, I don't have 1,000 orders, or I don't have 1,000 to give? Or are you going to believe that it will materialize, right? So if something comes your way and you're trying to control being able to logically make sense of how you can physically do something, you kind of step yourself out of that vortex of abundance and wealth, because it wants to work for you. How do you know the person that came to you was buying that many orders? All right. When they ask you like how much do you have right now, and you say 50, and they say, okay, I want 100, you take the money, you take whatever money is from that situation, and you get more product, and you get more supplies, and you do what you have to do, because the money was provided to you, the resources was provided to you. So if someone orders more than something that you have, you just never close that door. You just have to be able to see it clearly. That person was meant to meet you. It was all a part of the divine plan, and you were meant to do it yourself. Yes, this is how you're going to do it yourself. And before, you may have been asking yourself, like, how am I going to get more? Or how am I going to get this if all I have is that? Well, that's how the divine did it. See, by way of a stranger, by way of someone you couldn't even predict that for yourself. So there's a lot of things that even you may be able to give everybody else great advice, but even when it comes to you, it includes you too. So there's going to be people that you meet along your journey that will pose as mirrors and help you see the magic of the universe, okay? And that you don't have to work very hard, and you can be at peace, and you don't have to, it doesn't have to be boring, it doesn't have to be repetitious, but you can utilize what was once boring and repetitious and turn it into something that is beneficial, and it serves as a teachable experience. So everything about your life is content. Everything about your life is a teachable experience, and it's meant to be shared. That's where the power is. That's where the magic is. And everything that you're meant to have in your life, you're going to attract. Okay. There is no limit. So if you're struggling with that belief system, like, oh, the sky is the limit, that's as far as it can go. No, there is no limit for you. Unless you believe it to be a limit, then it will be a limit. So let's see. Any other messages, Spirit, from this deck that you have for a Taurus collective that needs to hear this message? I told you. What is this? You need the journey of how you were able to do something, the step by step. Some of y'all, this is like you're giving things. There's a value here. You're sharing things that have never been shared before. You're speaking on topics that have never been talked about before. You're helping people long before they get to where you are. You're giving them a thorough look into what it took to get you to this point in your life, and that's of value. So some of y'all need to be teaching class. Some of y'all need to be giving the confirmations, like study guides. All right, if you guys are tarot readers, classes, if y'all are entrepreneurs, how you became a six-figure owner, whatever. If you started out really young in a particular industry and you had to learn along the way, you're meant, this is your confirmation, you're meant to sit down with other entrepreneurs and be on a panel with other people to speak about you know, certain things that you dealt with signing a contract, and how all these other parts of litigation and stuff like that is involved. You have accountants, you have lawyers, you have managers, you have people that represent you. And when you're 17, 18, 19, 20, and you're coming into an industry and you don't really know the ropes, and in a lot of ways you follow the leaders before you, and sometimes the leaders before you or authority figures before you can let you down and leave you to kind of like pick up the slack for things that they didn't cover, but they wanted you to trust them and believe in them. And so they created this limited belief system around you know, how you get to the next level. So there's something that you know that, hey, there is a third option. You can get to this next level by way of doing it this way, X, Y, Z. But there's actually a third option. I feel like whoever you are, you tapped into some type of strategy, some type of method that works every single time. You understand algorithm, you understand numbers, you understand the matrix, you understand manifestation, all right, alchemy, all these different things. You understand chaos for sure. You have to understand chaos, and the idea of something waiting for something to come in is not really real. It's more of an illusion, right? You don't necessarily have to wait for it. It's like you just have to remain in the vortex, okay? But it's like, how did you do it? I feel like that's the key here. It's like the people want to know, how did you do it? So I'm seeing you are being encouraged to write out the formula, create the formula, have a conversation, go to panels, accept invitations that are moving the conversation towards these types of topics and in these types of areas, versus just revisiting events of your life, right? It's one thing to just revisit events of your life and talk about the things that you have done and things that you have overcame. That's great. That shows a lot about your capability and who you are. But how do we move the discussion from just about you and what you had to go through into now? Because, you know, people do resonate with your journey, but sometimes moving into action and creating a movement and a ripple of effect doesn't really begin until you start to connect the dots. And that's what I'm seeing here. There's something about your journey through from start to finish, or start to now, that the dots need to be connected, right? The loopholes that you became aware of, the clairvoyance and the gifts that you were capable of tapping into, how you were able to, you know, store or hold space for that hope, even in situations where it may have appeared as if you weren't going to be victorious, right? Or as if you weren't going to ever get the fruits of your labor or have that come into fruition. So it's like the universe wants you to get ahead of the narrative and get ahead of the conversation. Initiate the discussion. Take control of, you know, how social media and tabloids focus so much on just talking about the life story of a person versus the actual core values, or extracting the valuable content, the valuable blueprint, the valuable step-by-step process that is guaranteed, if followed by other people in this particular way. You know, that's how you pave the way, and you leave you know, valuable content that will always be useful and resourceful, even years down the line. All right. You're tapping into residual wealth. You're tapping into things that never get old, right? They never get old, no matter how many times. There's nothing new under the sun. This is the part that is missing. And your spiritual team is asking you to spearhead that forward, for you to be the leader, the trailblazer that brings that into fruition. Okay. Do 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 do. Something about Mariah Carey is significant confirmation if somebody likes Mariah Carey. All right, Mariah Carey there has had many love stories, right? And along the way, I think she dated key players, right, in the game. And I don't know if they were record label. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. I love when you guys know your shit, okay? But what I'm referring to is, regardless of whatever has happened, she has always allowed herself to get ahead of the narrative in regards to whether it's a prenup, whether it's, terms of agreement when dealing with each other, whether it's a business / romantic deal. She's always played that role, played a wise role when it comes to how she, how she kind of mixes with, like family and then herself. Like she's played the role in a lot of ways of appearing to be someone that needs to be well kept or lacks, there's like this damsel energy, right? But not really being a damsel, but allowing that energy to, but projecting that and attracting the type of people that want to sign, that want to collaborate, that want to give her what it is that she desires because they feel right. And this isn't a right and wrong conversation. This is strictly business. It has nothing to do with personal feelings, morals, ethics, and all these different things. What I'm talking about is using your strengths and your weaknesses of who you are, your journey and where you've been, and allowing that to spearhead its own way forward and create the lane for you. And then as that plows the lane for you, then utilizing the way that you do business and how you connect with people as your representative, right? If you were to think of it like a mascot, right? You are the mascot of yourself, right? So whatever lane you create for yourself has a mascot, it has a name, it has a brand, it's now its own entity, which is the creation through chaos, right? When with the 10 of Pentacles in reverse, there has been chaotic things, there has been experience, you have gone through things, bullying, family issues, you've been you've lost it all, you've gained it all, you've fallen, you've risen, so all of those things create the lane for you. And when you shine light not just to the things that you've been through, but how you actually, like the clues of how you were able to not only live it but also then train yourself and redevelop yourself, rebrand yourself, or recreate yourself or something like that. That's where the strategy is applied. That's where the strategy is applied. There's something about wearing that like honor, wearing those experiences, wearing that lane like, hey, I'm right from my city. This is my lane. This is who I am. And I wear those colors, those stripes, those scars proudly. That's where the integrity is really meant to come from. Not the integrity of what the world tells you integrity should be, but the integrity of who you remain to be, even though you've been through this or that and X, Y, and Z. So, I was just channeling, so I don't even know what I said. And I feel like you do this repetitiously. Okay. And at times when things can tend to get boring, it's like when you get bored of a strategy not working, or some type of effort that you're putting in isn't rendering you the success or expectation that you desire, you start to revert back to a certain way. Like, this is telling me that you have some type of success in some capacity. You do. You've won a lot, you've lost a lot, you've received rewards, you've received recognition. A lot of you have gotten a lot of positive feedback. You've been in the spotlight, you've taken break from the spotlight, but at the same time, there's something about feeling as if you're not quite capable, you're not quite able to do what it is that you want, because either you're indebted to family, right? Or the expenses of your family indebts you to a contract that you can't really sever, you know? And if you can't sever that contract because it would affect so many people that you're responsible for, then it's time that we start looking into a even greater power. Okay, that's what I'm seeing here, an even greater power. Because I don't think you're meant to just tell a story or just to expose something. No, you're like a trick underneath the universe sleeve. And so how this trick must be performed is unlike any other way. You would go down in history as the first person to ever play the game this way. Especially if you are involved with any type of contracts, management, deals, and things like that. Contracts is also could be affiliation of certain like spiritual groups, gangs, okay? Blood ties, loans as well. Like if you take out an exponential loan to cover some type of financial debt, or to cover some type of independent project that you want to do, you would owe them a lot more if you were to sever ties with them, right? So you have to keep producing and you have to keep repetitiously doing the same thing. Otherwise, the debt is even greater. You're owed back even more. Not only you would owe back, but your generations to come. And so many people would also pay a big price. What the hell is that noise? For those of you where this is a contract and you're married to someone and there is some type of litigation that requires that in the event that you do something different, that this is how it would affect and you would lose all of your assets. I see that too. Okay. Like it may be a part of a contract that you guys go seek counseling, or go to get therapy or go to church together. Something about having someone re-teach you and relearn, like re-groom. All right, let's say, for example, you want to date somebody as well and your family doesn't agree. Your family may be requiring that person gets some type of training, like how to eat properly, etiquette, how to requiring your partner to get some type of etiquette, training on how to properly do something. It's like invest in that person's, like upgrade them type of energy. So there is a reason. Okay, it's coming out. I'm seeing a lot of different storylines here. So I don't know which one is yours. Somebody's also having a discussion about, definitely if you're going to get engaged or you're going to get married, you need to have a prenup. Especially if you're marrying like a commoner. I'm seeing Princess Diana. So if you're marrying like a commoner or someone that is not of the same lifestyle, royalty, or, background, this is definitely someone, especially if you're not from the same culture, religion, background, social class. There's disputes that are being had in regards to what you want to do. And I feel like whoever you are being very smart about how you want to go about something. You know what I'm saying? Hmm. And I feel like how you're going about it right now is, as long as you're doing what's expected of you contractually, repetitiously, the attention would be taken away from who you're dating. So I do feel like I'm tapped into a Taurus that wants to keep the attention of their personal life separate from the repetition of their everyday career status, and personal life. So they want to create a home away from the public eye, away from the spotlight. Hell, I'm also getting like away from family. All right, this is definitely a Taurus energy that is not very, you know, they don't feel like it's too wise to involve even family, because family can be very vindictive, spiteful, um, childish in regards to, especially if this person is allocating or, putting a lot of resources into getting property, land, estate, trying to create their own life for themselves, trying to transition from being a bachelorette or a bachelor into someone that is, creating a family or a stable foundation for themselves. There's also going to be a problem if this is if you're a Taurus that's trying to do this with someone that this person, they may not have no idea where the hell you got this person from, but maybe you feel a connection with someone, maybe you share a past life type of soul resonance with someone. Let's see. So can we go into somebody also may be getting cut off by like their family financially if they do decide to come in your direction, or vice versa, which may bring like another issue. Like someone's father may be in the limelight, or they may come from limelight, and they are pretty much saying like, if you choose to like involve yourself with a particular person, if you marry, if you choose someone that isn't, in agreement, it's like, I won't acknowledge you, I won't recognize you, you won't have my respect, you won't have my support. Somebody may be trying to do that to strong arm you as well, to get what they want out of you. What they're not expecting you to do is for you to be like, okay, no problem, justice, upright, that's fair. If you don't agree with who I what I want to build, what I'm trying to do, you could be trying to start your own label, you could be trying to start your own you could be trying to branch out, because I'm hearing I don't know her daddy's names, but I saw Beyonce and her father. You could be trying to branch out and start your own record label, you could be trying to branch out and start your own production, even, that allows other people to also do business with someone that has integrity, that isn't connected to any blood ties, mob ties, whatever. You may have to do this investment on your own. Like, you may have to use from your own personal resources, is what I'm seeing here. I feel like what's going to be some type of online attention that you get, or online, like, the people will love you. You may not have the finances to really start it off the back, but it's like you may not have that community, that social group, or that party. Okay, because I'm hearing a party like Democrats, liberals, whatever. You may not have that party, but the people love you. Something about you are you know how to make an impact online. That's what I'm seeing here. Even if you have to do it repetitiously and give it for free, sometimes it allows you to enjoy doing it again when you just say, hey, okay, this is for just the people. They're not expecting that about you. There's something about the people have been overlooked for so long that they've kind of been turned off by a lot of people in the industry and different things like that, because there's no community structure anymore. There's no I feel like this may be like even leaving countries as well, because I'm being brought to, what's her name, Jessie Woo, what's her name, what did she say? It's like clips. Okay, I'm seeing clips from different stuff and I'm interpreting it. Okay, so she said America has one of the greatest infrastructures when it comes to, if you are an aspiring, if you aspire to make it in the world, as far as worldwide or internationally, they have a great infrastructure where you can start from a certain point, create a foundation, start a business, be an entrepreneur, do something online, and the support, you see what I'm saying, is it's a fair trade society, system, infrastructure. But what this is telling me as well, you may be wanting to do this to broaden your horizon, because I'm hearing abroad, but you're not getting the support of your management, your family, your it's like trial era, like they, like you feel like you're being like gatekeep, you're being blocked, you're being restricted to a certain region, but you feel like you have to be able to express this magic all over the world. And so a lot of travel, I don't even see the travel cards here, but I am seeing the fastest way for you to travel is online. Okay. You're doing it not for the love of money. Not, let me be very selective with my words. You're doing it for the love of the craft, for the love of whatever it is you're doing for yourself, for the love of what you love about this magic, what you love about this job, what you love about this content, whatever it is that you're producing. What you love about it is what makes you genuinely wealthy from the inside out. The Nine of Cups is saying that you're guaranteed fair trade, fair justice, by listening to that intuition, by trusting that you can take this and rebuild this, even if you had to lose a lot of your connects, a lot of your supporters, systems, accountants, lawyer, whatever it is that you've lost that was a part of the infrastructure or the foundation of what you've created. You can get 10 times that back. And it does come from you traveling the world and you sailing the 7 seas. Okay, yes, death card. Because even if they stop supporting you on one side, there's a whole infrastructure that you haven't even really been able to tap into yet. But this is your season. This is your time for you to actually use this as your area of expertise. You know, you may not have been able to do it quite like how you wanted to do it a long time ago. There's something about in the past. But that's because you were before your time. But that doesn't mean that it wasn't meant for you. It just, time hadn't caught up to you. Because with magic here, this is telling me that you've always been, receiving downloads and information from timelines of yourself, like a time traveler. So whatever happened in the past that you weren't able to solidify and you weren't able to make concrete, that was the past for a reason, but technically you were just living out the future long before it was aligned to come in. You know what I'm saying? But you still had to go to those environments. You still had to be at a certain place and do a certain thing. So you were experienced. It's like you're gonna have to choose these people or yourself, the expectations of this or yourself. Even if they stop supporting you, even if they blacklist you, blackball you, if you feel in your spirit that this is what you're meant to be doing, then your why supersedes any other strategy, tactic, to kind of like water you down, or to look you over, or pass you by, or restrict certain access to you, like slow you down. Okay, you may feel as if you're in the bottom of the list or you're at the back of the line, but in this scenario, this time around, the last are being made first. Okay, so your opportunities, when doors close, in a lot of ways, it was meant to close. So if you start feeling like people are blackmailing you or telling you they're going to cut you off and not give you this or not give you that in the event that you don't listen, if you're not happy and you're not experiencing this feeling of like, okay, I know I feel confident about this choice, then this is that universe giving you the confirmation that that's your invitation to drop it like a bad habit. Cut it off at the head. You know what I'm saying? At the throat. Like, just sever it. Go ahead and get it out the way, because we have 999. I feel like we're about to get another 9. Let's see. The Magician in reverse. I feel like this is a way to get you back, pull you back in a particular direction. Yeah. Someone's gonna say to you like, oh, if you leave, there are so many other people that would love to date me, they would love to be with me, they would love, like, because I feel like there's something to do with someone here feeling like, okay, I can't marry you, I can't settle down, I can't be in this long-term commitment, but I still want the best for you, right? And someone's like, you're gonna regret that. Other people are gonna, there are so many people that desires me, that wants me, they're all going to be on me, and you're going to regret pretty much. This could be someone that was blackmailing you by way of trying to, you aren't the only other person that this person maybe, threatening to expose or give some type of information. There's a gang of people that are pretty much hired. Some of y'all, they're hired by your own people. They're hired by your own family as informants. They're hired by your own management companies as ways to keep you on a short leash. So some of this could be a lease as well. And meanwhile, you think you're in an exclusive relationship or you're dating someone exclusively, but they report back to your friend, they report back to your friend, they report back to your managers, your agents. There's a boss that's the boss of you, and they report back to, they all sit back and discuss what new information were they able to acquire. Some of y'all, this is your own parents, okay? Best friends. These are the 3 of Cups is saying people that you normally drink with, you normally celebrate with. You may invite them to your home with the 3 of Cups. This is saying salute, cheers, celebrate. And one of these people, they have their main character that they bring in as a deal closer. Okay, so some of you guys were there was a deal closer that was assigned to you a long time ago, and you could have thought that you were, because these are the people that know your type and your weakness. So when something that you like comes your way, you start to get real when you get bored, it's like clockwork. They can guarantee that you're either going to go home with that person, you know what I'm saying, that you're either going to like a pickup, or you're going to talk to that person, things like that. This is like being at a bar or being at a party, And there's a plant, right? There's someone that's there, that is there to strategically get you, like, you know, to have conversation with you, to talk about you and things like that, right? Get you to leave. Get you to leave with them for the night, get y'all to go back together or something like that. There's definitely a plot, definitely a strategy. But that person is under contract. That other person has been under contract, hired by your own family, hired by your own. They're not even single. Someone could use their own spouse, their own partner that they're in a contracted deal with, as the person that they send around to like do house calls. I'm seeing a lot of shit. Okay. They may take on a personal like title, like a masseuse, a personal title like a coach, a masseuse, but they're really a high profile escort or something like that. That's what I'm seeing here. They're like what everybody talks about at the parties. Want to get you one of these, get you one of these. That's what I'm seeing here. I see you turning this opportunity down. Something about this situation is going to make you feel as if it's off. Like it won't be a good idea. Like something is off about this person. Something is off about this person's desire to. They desire so much. You're going to be able to see this person's lie. You're going to be like, they're trying too hard. Eight of Swords. Like, why are they trying so hard to get at me? You know what I'm saying? They're super persistent. You may not like someone's honesty. You may not really care for how someone is always telling you or exposing this type of shit to you. But on this day, whenever this happens, you're going to be happy that someone was willing to say the truth, even if it would cost them their own mysticism, their own mystery, even if it would cost them their own protection, you know, because this is telling me that seeing into these types of situations looks like it comes with a fault. Okay. Giving advice for these types of situations where there's all these different strategies, plots, and plans happening at the same time, and there's big money on the table. Especially if you are someone of like what they would consider in the limelight. It's at a sacrifice to someone else. It's not really a sacrifice. It's like someone may put themselves in harm's way just to tell you what they see and the whole truth and nothing but the truth. But the Queen of Swords is saying this is someone that tells the truth and they don't add no lubricant. They do not. They give tough love in such a way that it may slap you in the face. Okay. For sure. But it also exposes them as well. This is like somebody running to your establishment and they're being chased by someone. The Queen of Swords may be like, oh, hell no, you can't come up in here. And then someone's like, someone's chasing me. And because this person is just built from the core to be that type of love, to have that type of love and compassion for others outside of themselves, no matter how harsh they are, no matter how blunt they are, they would let you in their establishment. But they put themselves in harm's way when someone comes to like stronghold them and like bully them and tell them like, did you see somebody running past here? And they're interrogating them. And meanwhile, the Queen of Swords is looking out for you. Tell me more about this Queen of Swords. This seems like an important player on your team. The Queen of Pentacles. So somebody has like this person may talk like this, but truthfully they're a Queen of Pentacles. This is definitely like a homebody or someone that just Loves, they take care of their home, they take care of their family, they see bunnies, the no dramas, stress free. They value what they have acquired for themselves, the stability. Um, but this is, don't get it twisted. The Queen of Swords in reverse is saying this person has been through things with the Nine of Wands. When they get ready, when they feel as if it has gone too far, they will definitely tell you about yourself. But for the most part, under the Queen of Swords watch, they're not going to let nothing happen to you. They can have Libra, Aquarius, Gemini in their chart. They can be a Libra. Well, Libra and Taurus is Venus. So this is the house of value. This is a person that values integrity. Not integrity from what everybody else expects, but integrity from their own. They expect this is who they are, their core values, their core principles. You know what I'm saying? And so this person may take a loss. Because I feel like whoever this Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Swords energy is, they're going to tell you the truth and what they see and what's going on. What you do with that information can either benefit or hurt or harm, So let's say, for example, you find out all this information and you turn around and you still hang out with the same people and you still get deeper in the same situations. You put that person more at in harm's way than you do for you to learn your lesson, see it for what it is, and then take that information and do shit like, what's his name? Malcolm X, okay? And that's just the first thing that came to my mind. But it's telling me that you are spiritually connected to someone, and everything that you do, it affects someone connected to you energetically, spiritually. And this comes from resisting, wanting to, like, it's like once someone gets saved from a situation, then they feel like they got to go defend their turf, or they got to go defend themselves, and then because they don't like to take the loss or take a L in a situation. But it's better to lose what you think that you had and gain the world than to lose yourself in the process and take everybody else down with you. Those are moves that kings make, you understand? And that's because the roles are not being played in their true position. Because to consult with the queen, okay, sometimes that's the duality of the king and queen in a situation. Your ability to swap roles if necessary. Sometimes you have to go into a season where you're out there and you're extroverted, right? And you're taking action. And then at other seasons, when that season is past, you go into that introverted season, the introverted phase, and you learn and you digest information and you process things. The beauty of that duality is for masculine and feminine to be able to share those roles, all right? And to know how to shift and be what the other needs for each other at any given time. Okay, this is the phase of development that you guys are at, and I feel like with the Page of Swords in reverse, when someone feels like someone is doing something against them or they're backstabbing them, they tend to, like, I want to say run their mouth, or they tend to wear it. Like, they tend to want to go and stand up for what they believe in and speak on things and certain things like that. But really, you don't have to give it all that attention. You don't have to give it all that clout. And the reason why they're saying that is because all it does is exposes your next move to your enemy. Not everybody is in that season. And your enemies, whoever I'm connecting to, they're a lot closer to you than you think. You know what I'm saying? So let's get your blessing. after this lesson, because I do feel like this is a lesson to be learned, a lesson to be had. You can't outrun it. You can't go over it. You can't go under it. So you're going to have to go through it. Look at this. Bottom of the deck, we got unity. A time for divine understanding, renewal, peace, and hope. You radiate and attract great love. What's the blessing, Spirit? We have judgment in reverse. Soul searching will bring inner peace to many areas of your life. And what's the lesson, Spirit? Luck in reverse. So the lesson to me when I see luck is belief. Okay. Luck is only possible if you believe. You are right to be strong and optimistic about the opportunities ahead, and that's in reverse, right? You don't have to defend what you know is yours. You don't have to scream out loud and flash what you have or try to prove anything to anyone when you're just spiritually rich, when you just know who you are. When a part of knowing who you are unlocks that spiritual inheritance for you. And as long as those belief systems prevent you from unlocking that spiritual inheritance through who you are, through your roots, you are disconnected from a vital aspect. It's not all of you, but it is an aspect of you. It is a part of why would the divine create even those levels of consciousness, like our ancestors, like spirit guides, and so forth and so on, if it wasn't a necessary phase to journey through, a necessary rite of passage to participate in. You can't skip grades. That's just, some people just are a genius and they are good at just accelerating rapidly, but they're never skipping grades. They're always going through it. But sometimes there are some of us that stay in situations longer than their expiration date, and those are the kind where it takes a couple days for us to memorize something. You know what I'm saying? For us to see the pattern, the repetition from it. And so that is the lesson. It's tied to your belief systems, is tied to the way in which how you respond to life experiences and what version of yourself it brings forth, what comes into fruition when your belief systems and your hope is stifled. Like what comes from that? Who do you become? What version of you appears after those types of experiences? And then with your blessing, we have judgment. This is pretty much saying that you don't really have no control. All right. You don't really have any control. And the more that you feel like I didn't have control, or I don't have control over a situation, the universe will create more experiences and simulations for you to see that it's like it's a space of calm. It's a space of peace that no matter where you go, even without your altars, even without your holy waters, even without all of these different things that we value as necessary in order for us to know of a surety that we found what we're looking for in a person, it ain't gonna come from those things. It ain't gonna come from this reading. Is going to come from what you feel on a soul level. And that's going to be your blessing, is when you know your confirmation through your soul. When you're able to know of a surety, when your soul thumps and you feel like this awakening inside of you, when you feel this inner knowing inside of you around who a person is to you, what is meant for you, and how it's going to play out. It's a different type of conviction that comes from that, and it opens so many doors of blessings and opportunities, and you're able to focus, and you have a clear channel for the divine to move and work its magic through you, right? But you got to get out your own way. Okay, look at this in judgment, and this is how we're moving in tandem. All right, with beloved, this is how you're moving in tandem with the divine. It's a blessing in surrender. It's a blessing in allowing the divine to answer in the call, right? To not being like, oh, here we go again. You know, I can't take it anymore. You don't ever know what's on the other side of that experience. So don't look at it from that perspective. Just pick up the fucking phone. Let me get you a book divination and we're going to go about our business. How about that? I like the sound of that. All right. So we tapping into the High Priestess today, honey. Spirits. What book is here? We have Shamanic Journey. Well, look at here. We have Purpose, Attunement, Vision, Quest. This radiant shamanic priestess rides the wind horse before the full moon, heralding a sacred time for you, one that can lead you into great personal healing and radical transformation. A literal or metaphorical journey awaits you, unearthing such profound wisdom. Your life may never be the same. If you wonder what your true purpose is, now is the time to open and receive. The white feathers of the priestess headdress are a symbol of spirit, a message about freedom from the mundane world. The pursuit of spiritual matters may be where your greatest purpose lies, and the expression of your spirit's value and power may come in the form of shamanic practices like healing, ceremony, and psychic vision. Let yourself look first to this side of you, for it could reveal the core purpose from which all other intentions and activities grow. An antler in the priestess' left hand is a symbol of higher connection. Since a young deer regularly sheds its antlers, the message here is to take some time to learn what old perceptions need to be shed for your own growth and higher purpose. Attune to the voice of your higher self, and don't be afraid to let go, for the promise of new opportunities and expanded perception is clear. These new approaches will illuminate your passage and your vision quest. You deserve to devote yourself to your own soul's evolution. Meditate on your purpose and envision the inner and outer journeys that will bring you greater attunement. Once you prioritize this process, your purpose will be fulfilled in magical and even miraculous ways. Affirmation: I am attuned to the shaman within. I devote myself to my own soul's journey, and I am blessed. Taurus, I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.